Welcome to the White Bear.
Let's address the elephant in the room.
And we're live.
Dope.
So, how's everybody doing today?
Oh, I'm doing great, man. Just, enjoying this weather mostly. But other than that, nothing.
We're in the DC area.
Yeah, it got real hot here for a couple days. And, it was like 90 Thursday and Friday.
Oh, wow, man. Fuck that. It's way too hot.
Yeah, you northerners.
Oh, this fucking comes up every podcast.
Yeah, I know.
Which I hate the heat. I'm just bitching too much. So, this is episode 4. We've taken a couple week hiatus, but now we're back.
Yeah,
a lot's been.
Yeah, sometimes you gotta, take a break and rest on it a little bit. But I'm happy we did, just because so much has gone down.
Yeah, dude. Fucking Kanye. Should we just jump right into Kanye, man?
Yeah, we can jump right into Kanye.
Warm up first a little bit before we touch that one.
Let me look at the roll real quick. I mean, we can hit maybe some of the NFL stuff and then come back with the Kanye.
Yeah, that sounds like a good plan.
Yeah.
So, Baker Mayfield, Cleveland Browns. Let's start off on some positives here. What do you think about that?
I like the pick. I think we talked about it a couple weeks ago about how he can do a lot of things that Tyrod can do schematically. So I think that's good, and that's
I was just thinking, as soon as they made that pick, and then Nick Chubb too, man.
Oh, yeah.
They got Tyrod and Baker, and then Chubb and Carlos Hyde. Dude, they can run an NFL version of that stupid Frankenstein 60s power run spread offense we ran.
Yeah, it would be.
That could be pretty dope with them, I think.
Yeah, it's almost scary how downplayed the Browns roster is right now. I know
holy.
Cleveland fans are freaking out about it, but the core receivers, the running backs, the line is decent. The D line is looking pretty scary too.
Yeah. Ooh, that man! I've been looking at what's that Miami end's name?
Chad. Oh, why can't I think of his name?
Thomas, right? Is it Thomas?
Yeah, Chad Thomas. Yeah.
Yeah, dude. I've been I didn't even know who that guy was. I watched Miami a few times this year, and obviously their D line was nasty. Yeah. But man, the more I look into him, it seems like people just didn't draft him because he makes music, and they were scared he was going to quit football. Oh, that was the only reason that low. Yeah.
No, when he balls out and gets out of that rookie contract and makes real NFL money, I don't think he'll be going to music. I mean, people act like Le'Veon Bell makes music. Come on. It's not really a big deal.
That's what I don't get that, man.
Yeah.
Or how many times you got to ask him in an interview, I'm doing this, I'm going through the combine process because I want to play football.
Right.
Especially with him, because he's legit. He produces for Rick Ross and shit. He could actually go legitimately make music and make money, but he doesn't want to. Yeah. He wants to play football.
And he can do both if he decides.
Yeah.
It's not even I don't see what's wrong with two incomes.
Yeah, dude. And then as far as I can tell, there's no reason to think that he's just talking. I was looking over it, some of the Miami Hurricanes fan stuff, and they all love him. Said he works super hard and he's great.
Yeah.
So I don't know why you have any reason to not believe him when he says he wants to play football.
Right. Yeah. I mean, I watched him quite a bit because I'm kind of a closet Miami fan. My dad lived in Miami for a while, and he lived in Miami in the 80s, so he became a pretty big fan of Miami football. So yeah, so I was kind of Miami fan growing up, but yeah, I watched a lot of their games, and he looked like the best player on their D line. He's just so not quite as athletic as Myles Garrett, clearly, because he's a little bit he's more of the run stop end. I'll see him being, and Myles Garrett's just going to terrorize quarterbacks.
Like physically, he looks a lot like Agba.
Yeah, absolutely.
Big long motherfucker.
Mhm. Which at first I was like, oh, Bradley Chubb, but like it's kind of redundant to get Chubb.
Yeah, I mean, when I was watching live, I was a little disappointed because I wanted Chubb there too. But I mean, Denzel Ward seems like a good dude. As much as I hate Ohio State,
Yeah,
like I don't have a reason
hey,
he's not going to be good. So
hey, Cleveland kid, man, I respect him.
yeah, nothing wrong with that.
Nah. He went to Nordonia.
Yeah, I saw that. It's
Yeah,
real homegrown.
yeah, it's pretty lit. But I have high hopes
What's
for the Browns this year.
Yeah, me too. I think it's going to be fun.
Yeah, Super Bowl or bust.
Listen to you had a press conference the other day, and he sounded just rejuvenated
Yeah,
compared to the last year here. So,
yeah. I mean, can you?
and actually, now that they got the quarterback coach and offensive coordinator, I feel like he's actually going to be a pretty good head coach, just
Oh,
because he's a good people.
oh yeah. He was starting to look like yeah, a little bit of Ty Lue going on there for a little bit. Like he always looks stressed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
God, dude, the fucking Cavs. How fucking good is LeBron?
I have this on the. I've added this to the
Yeah,
top.
I saw the list there. Yeah. Man, that shot last night, like it didn't even look like he was trying, man.
No, he said it was hard in the press conference, which I'm sure it was, but the fact that he made it look so just effortless was just.
It's crazy. Like, how good is that guy? He's 33. He's been playing for like 15 years now.
Hmm.
We don't even think anything of it. He's just there
Yeah.
doing his thing.
Mhm. I mean,
I saw a stat. Is like over his last like 30 playoff games,
mhm.
which first of all, the fact that he's played in 30 playoff games is just impressive to begin
Oh
with.
yeah,
But
100%.
last 30, he's averaging like it's just something absurd, like 30 points a game and like 8 rebounds and 7 assists or something. Just
He's just
fucking incredible.
he's just I don't. It's just baffles me. Like LeBron haters, you're literally just hating him just to hate him.
Yeah, dude. Like I can't.
It's like hating that guy that's like does everything right. Like no one's supposed to have everything, and I'm sure LeBron doesn't. But like that guy that like has great grades, but also like balls out, and then he's got
Man.
the girls and the blah 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 and all this stuff. Like LeBron's that guy, so people just want to hate, just to hate.
Yeah, I can't even talk that much shit because I hated him when he left Cleveland the first time. But
I wasn't in that camp. I don't know. He's my favorite. Like literally, first memory, 2003. Like my brother, my dad, myself, like the whole family was like, "Oh, we're gonna draft LeBron." Like we watched the draft. It was like a huge like memory for me. So like he's just been my favorite player ever since. And like yeah, so I
yeah,
wasn't gonna jump ship, but
hate's probably a strong word for me. I was never a jersey burner, but I was sad when he did that, and I always liked to root against the Heat after that.
yeah. But he is. I personally think he is not only the best player that we've seen in basketball. Like when I say we, I mean like our generation. Like I can't speak on Jordan because I've only seen highlights, but he might be like one of the best athletes I've ever seen.
Yeah, like you almost think he'd walk into the NFL at age 33 here and do fine.
Yeah. Honestly, it's like, and I mean he was all state as a receiver in high school, but I mean of course he was. He was fucking 6'8". But
I wonder what his 40 is.
oh, I don't know, cause he like, it's kind of like that. They always said it about like Terrell Pryor because his strides were so long. He doesn't look like he's moving that fast, but like
Yeah,
he's moving. But I'm sure
that's what. Yeah, that's what. LeBron's like a glider on those. Like whenever he blocks people from behind,
Oh yeah,
you never think there, and then he just like fucking shows
right.
up.
2 steps. Like you got to have a good separation to because he can like and like Giannis is like that too. Like he can take
Yeah,
like 2 good steps and he's right on you.
he can't get away
I
from it.
know.
It always trips me out. Like we're spoiled here, right? Living in the 21st century, and we get to just worry about things like basketball. But like back in every generation, there was somebody like that that was like, instead of putting all that effort in the basketball, they put it in the fighting. They would be out on a field killing people
Yeah,
gracefully.
yeah, no,
Like no wonder all these fucking legends get written about.
right, yeah.
Like what was the most like how bad was that guy?
What'd you say? Say that again.
Like someone like William Wallace, like was that like basically LeBron? And what would trying to kill him be like?
Oh my God, that'd be. I mean, can you imagine just the skillfulness of it, and then like the straight savagery of it as well.
Yeah, it'd be visceral.
Yeah, and I don't know who else is a great warrior.
Miyamoto Musashi, Alexander the Great.
Alexander the Great. Yeah,
I always like Alexander because he was reckless and had like no business being alive as long as he was,
yeah,
even though he died young.
yeah. He died so young, but it's just crazy. Just. I mean, when you people like that, when you just got it, you got it. There are people like that too.
Yeah,
Those people I hate more than the people that just are like good at things and like have it all. The people that are just completely reckless and have it all just piss me off even more.
it's like, I'm so lucky.
Yeah.
That's what some of fucking Alexander's shit is like crazy. Like God, I want to say he died from like an infection or something. I can't remember what.
Yeah, I think it was something like
But
that.
it's like one of the last battles he fought was like at some random like city state in India.
Mhm.
And he like climbed a ladder by the gate, like a siege ladder,
Mhm.
and he like jumped into their courtyard by himself when the gate was like still shut and just started fighting people, and his like own troops had to like pull him
That
back.
was ridiculous.
Like just and that's the kind of shit he just did all the time, and he somehow never died. Fucking crazy. Like not one person has an arrow they can shoot you with or
Right.
a spear to chuck at you. That happened.
That's like why do you think all these cities are named after the guy? You got to be pretty badass to to be
For sure.
around the world.
Especially when there was no internets. Can't even hear about anybody.
Exactly.
Just get cholera and die or whatever people did back then.
His last name is literally last name. His they proclaimed him the Great. I don't think it gets much greater than that.
Yeah, that's pretty dope.
Yeah. But and speaking of the greatest, I don't think it's any like I said. I don't want to speak on Michael Jordan, but I don't know. I think LeBron would take him 1-on-1.
It's hard to believe that anybody's better than LeBron. Like you can't even.
It really is unfathomable to think about.
It's not fathom.
Oh man, if they won, I don't even want to like jinx it, but if they did win the championship this year, I don't know. I'd have to go back home and riot with the rest of Cleveland.
Yeah, dude, that would just be like I'm not even expecting him to make it to the championship at this point because they just look so bad outside of LeBron.
Oh yeah, I know.
It's just he just keeps dragging them across the fucking finish.
I mean, it'd be great if they like were terrible up until. I could see that happening. Like they randomly showed up
In the championship. Yeah, dude, that'd be dope. It'd be like the opposite of last year.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, but I can go on about freaking the Jordan LeBron debate for days. But you want to hop into some of this NFL stuff?
Yeah, we can move on to the controversial things here.
You want to start with Eric Reed or you want to start with the cheerleaders?
Let's go cheerleaders. I think that one will be shorter. It's pretty cut and dry, I think.
Okay, I think I have most of the facts on this, but go explain to me what you think is happening, because I kind of read an article earlier.
Yeah, so as far as I understand, for whatever reason, the Redskins organization had some type of a event
Okay.
overseas. Was it in Russia or something? I don't remember.
It was like something in like Costa Rica, I think, happened.
Yeah, like some type of a resort, and for some
Like an
reason,
adult
the cheerleaders.
resort.
Yeah, for some reason, the cheerleaders had to go, and they like took their passports from them, so they couldn't like have any proof of their identification for some reason. And they spent like a whole day doing normal cheerleader things and practicing and stuff for some reason over there. And then they like after that they like made them. They were doing a calendar shoot there.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that makes sense.
Not only was it like weird and grovelly, like they let these boosters or whatever the hell they were like watch them do the photo shoot and like take nude pictures and stuff, but then they made them like escort them to a ball or something later, I guess, like some form of weird pseudo prostitution. They like forced them into it.
I see where the controversy lies.
Yeah. It sounded like it was not okay.
Yeah.
But I did see two of the Redskins cheerleaders got on TV and denied part of it or something. I'm not really sure. I haven't looked into that much. I don't know.
Okay, yeah, that's what I saw. I saw like the two who were, they basically came out and said, hey, anything, like the organization is, they didn't necessarily deny that happened, but they said like anything like you didn't want to do, you didn't have to. So like, I think it's still pretty fucked up, because if that's not in like the employment contract from the beginning.
Yeah, I don't think that makes it okay. And then like you're on an island by yourself, so the implication's kind of there.
Yeah. And like,
it's like trying to say, yeah, I don't know, like,
yeah, I don't.
Trying to think of a good example, right? Like a girl's alone with you, and you like kind of force her to have sex with you or something. Like the same thing, right?
Yeah, but like less rapey, but like kind of not really at the same time.
Yeah, but you know, like the implication is there. That's the word.
Yeah, it's kind of. I mean, of course, like this would come out now amidst the current climate in corporate America, but like, I don't know, these old dudes got to get their shit together. Young dudes too, but like most of these old males of
these old hound dogs,
but
doing weird old person shit.
I'm just kind of fucked up. Like, oh, I'm not really even surprised by it, because it's just.
Yeah. No, the guy that owns the team too. What's his name? He's kind of a shitty owner too. He's a dick.
I don't even know who owns the Redskins.
I don't remember his name either. I just always think about him as like the guy that wants to be Jerry Jones.
Yeah.
Is it like Allen? Maybe? Does that sound right?
Say that again.
Allen. You know what? We got the Google.
Yeah, I'm about to look up.
Oh no, it's Dan Snyder. Why did I think Allen? That's weird.
Yeah, right, Schneider. That sounds familiar. Yeah, and then like, I mean, the Redskins are just like that franchise right now. They're like the most racist logo, like the most racist mascot.
I just want them to drag that out as long as possible, because I feel like people after the Indians, like once the Redskins are out of the way.
Oh yeah, no, they definitely will.
Yeah.
Well, I think honestly, it's not even the same level of offensive. Like Redskins is like a blatantly racist name for Native Americans. Indians was just the misnomer that happened a long time ago and stuck. So which one's actually?
Yeah.
Though,
in a lot of ways.
I was going to say, though, the Indians, Chief Wahoo is far more racist caricature of a Native American than.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I'm kind of like I totally see that side of it, but like that's just like what they as in people who made mascots do to like when your mascot's like something that's a human. Oftentimes, like at the Colorado School of Mines, they have like some miner who looks like fucking Yosemite Sam, which is obviously a ridiculous caricature, right?
And it's the same thing with Notre Dame.
Yeah, right. So it's complicated. Yeah. And then with mascots relating to Native American things too, in particular, I don't have like a strong opinion about it or anything, but I do always think it's like an interesting component that doesn't really get brought up much is like when you pick your mascot, you're picking something that you like want to be your mascot, right? So it's whenever people were making all these schools and stuff in the late 1880s and early 1900s, like I feel like a lot of that came out of like a respect for like the Native American warriors, at least.
Yeah, and that's like my case for like say like Florida State, because it's not necessarily a like, I don't know. I mean, some people may take offense to it, but it's literally like
tribe.
Yeah. But I guess
get mad about the tomahawk chop, but that seems kind of like a silly thing to get mad about. It's just a stupid thing.
Yeah. Like, I don't know. Yeah, I mean, I agree with the respect thing, but for some reason, the caricatures I can see are definitely something to get a little bit tickled by.
Yeah. Chief Wahoo and his big cheekbones and red skin.
Literally red. The color. It's so bad.
It's okay, though. One of their best players in history was a Native American, so it's fine.
I also, like, hate the people that are like, oh, I have Native American friends, and they're not offended by it. And then, like, you ask them, like, how many Native American people do you know? And they're like, just my one friend. And, like, you can't use they then if you only.
I hate white people that have, like, an eighth Cherokee in them or something, and then they act like they have some intimate connection with it.
Yeah, no.
It's like, your great-great-grandpa probably raped an Indian. Like, what are you...
Yeah.
You're not fucking Native American. Like, what are you talking about right now? Have you ever seen, like, some of the reservations where there's, like, actual Native American populations? It's pretty dreary because we kind of just fucked them.
Yeah, the reservations are fucking terrible. Oh, my God. It's so bad. The crime rates are so bad.
The elders there, like, speaking of implication, like, there's, like, all kinds of problems with, like, sexual abuse and stuff. It's crazy.
It is.
Just ignore it.
Yeah, honestly.
It's like it's not even a part of America, even though it is.
I mean, that's how it is. Unfortunately, if it's not at our front door, then people turn the other cheek. Like, the only reason, these people, like people that were mad about specifically the Indians, was because it's their team. They don't care about like the people behind that, but.
Which actually, I think that's interesting too. People that are like people really like to disregard like this is the team I've been rooting for argument, basically. Which I kind of think there's probably some merit for that not being a good argument, but also like, I mean, that's like there's significance there. Like, right, if you rooted for the Indians when you were a little kid and that became like an intimate part of your childhood with like, I don't know, say you went to games with your dad or something, like there's some significance there where even though there's not a real reason for it to bother you, it does.
That's fair.
Right.
But like you probably have memorabilia from when you were a kid. So, I mean, hold on to that and move on. Yeah, just get over it.
Yeah, it is interesting. It's another one of those things I feel like people just aren't.
And it's an argument that like
people are like amped up when they talk.
I mean,
about
it's an argument that goes both ways. Like they're telling people to like get over the logo, but also like if the logo's changed, I'm sure you can just get over it. It's not really a big deal. Like,
it's like you're all hypocrites, and on no level is this issue something that's like that
absolutely not
big of a deal. Like, yeah,
Worst comes to worst, you got a bunch of dope throwback
I
gear.
think that,
Like,
yeah, true. Man, it's so weird to me how, like, I mean, I don't know about you, but like when I was growing up, my whole family and like the area I lived in was a very like sticks and
right.
stones mentality, right? And now it's like completely reversed, and I don't understand it like in society in general.
Yeah, yeah, no, it's weird. Like even like with the White House Correspondents' Dinner that recently happened, Michelle Wolf, is that her name?
Yeah,
That is
it
like the
was
most
man.
hypocritical thing ever to me. Like these conservatives have
Yeah,
been complaining about the liberal mentality and letting things get to people too much, and then she throws a couple shots at the devil herself, and then she's everybody's all up in arms.
I will say that, like watching that clip, I felt like that was extremely mean spirited, but
Say that again.
I felt watching that, I thought it was like one of the most mean
Oh
spirited
yeah,
things I've ever
I'm sure it
seen,
was.
just
Hmm.
because they were like in the same room, you know. But yes, I agree that that's silly to try to say that she should have
Yeah,
done that or she should apologize or whatever.
like just get over it. It's not a big deal.
Yeah. Part of it did for some hypocrisy on the opposite side of the coin. The fact that she was like making fun of her
Oh yeah,
appearance and
no.
stuff kind of got under my skin a little bit. I was like, come on, you guys bitch about like fat shaming and stuff all the time, and now you're putting this lady on a pedestal because you don't like this obviously
Right, yeah.
annoying woman.
And like I understand like she's a comedian, so like that's fine. Like the first thing comedians
Yeah,
do when you go to a show is they say, "Hey, if you're easily offended, you should leave now," because that's kind of what they do for a living. But like for you know more liberal people to praise her for that is just I don't know. It's just wrong to me.
right. I don't like the
Hmm.
inconsistencies in people.
Again, it goes back to no one cares unless it affects them directly, really. So
Win.
yeah,
It's all people want to do.
but it was great though. Just like the awkwardness in the room.
Yeah, I would not have
Yeah.
wanted to been sitting in there.
Ugh. Man, what else we got? We're almost to Kanye. This is like a build up.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we'll get there. Don't you worry, guys. We got to
Yes,
talk
we
about
do.
Eric
Yeah,
Reed
that's
first,
what's
though.
looking for. So Eric Reed's filing a suit similar to Colin Kaepernick's collusion.
Yep, that's as far as I understand. It's something
Okay.
along similar
How you feel
grounds.
about that? What do you think?
Um, I don't know. I mean, I think he did it a little early. Like, I mean, I'm not privy to what his talks were like with teams, but like the first month after the draft, a lot of people
Yeah.
get signed usually. So, like, maybe he would have got signed, but now he's definitely
Absolutely
not going to
not.
get
Or
signed, I
he
think.
might. Depending on
Yeah, maybe Roger will
yeah.
step in and make a team beside him
But
so they don't get sued.
I mean, for me, statistically, I think I had a stat in here. It's not really a stat, but he was ranked 57th out of 356 DBs in 2017. So I mean, huh?
What's that, like PFF or something? What's that, like the PFF metric or
Just
something?
overall stats. Uh, I got that from
Okay.
NFL.com. Um, and
Okay.
I was gonna say his performance has declined since like his first year in the league, which he made the Pro Bowl his rookie season. But like not enough. Like we
Mhm.
got some trash safeties on the Browns roster that he could easily replace. I feel like not like the starters, but you know, yeah.
Yeah, they really need a backup free for sure. I don't know if
But
they play free or not, but
I mean, I don't. For him, I feel like it's a little different than Cap, just because quarterback is a much not I don't want to say much more important position, but it's a harder position to get right. It's harder to cover up. Like you can protect a safety, like or you can protect a DB, or like bad quarterback play will be 100% obvious, but also
Right.
and like by with that point, I'm making the point that they can get other safety. Like I don't know, you know what I'm trying to say? I'm trying to. Yes.
They're like a
Yeah. So
something.
it's a little bit different for Kaepernick because there aren't. It's really hard to be good at quarterback, and Kaepernick's better than a lot of backups. So, but for safeties, it's
Uh-huh.
not as obvious.
Right.
But he could make the case though that he is better than a lot of safeties that are currently on teams. But you know,
Yeah, I mean, I'm interested to see where these suits go. I'm not really. So they're trying to get him on collusion or something. Like, I guess I don't. Like, it doesn't seem to me that even if Roger Goodell came out and said nobody's signing Kaepernick because he kneels, that would be like they would be going outside of their own
right?
rights since it's their organization. But I don't really know the ins and outs of all those
Yeah, I don't
things.
know. I mean, it's hard to tell where I mean what type of case he could even make because like even if it's I feel like you have to have some sort of hard evidence. So if there is collusion going on, I'm sure it's on a level in which it's like, oh, wink, wink, this guy is kind of giving us some pushback. So it's not something that's explicitly stated. But like if there was like an email or
Mm-hmm.
something that so happened to leak that was like, yeah,
Oh, dude, I would love to see
oh yeah,
the
no,
emails that all these rich old
it's
men
like
send
the
to each other.
Washington Redskins cheerleader calendar shoot, and then some shit about Kaepernick, and like don't let the black guys buy the Panthers, and then, like
I was thinking about that the other day. Just like I don't know if Diddy is still in on that or not, but I feel like the other owners would
oh,
absolutely do
absolutely
not want
not.
him as an owner in the league.
Did he probably he if anyone can pull it off from like the music realm of it's probably Diddy or
Uh,
Jay-Z. They're like wildly successful business people. Maybe sprinkle
yeah.
in some Dr. Dre just to get it over the top.
Yeah, dude. I mean, yeah, I don't know where they're going with that, but I feel like too. I mean, like Steph Curry already said he'd help him. Like, how easily could Diddy just be like, "Hey, black people, I need more money. We
Yeah.
don't have quite enough to outbid these rich white guys. Let's go,"
Oh yeah.
and like they would get it done.
I
I feel
mean,
like.
honestly, the idea of like an ownership group of just rappers and athletes just makes me giggle.
It'd be sweet.
But it's something that's totally much more feasible than I think a lot of people give credit for.
Yeah, I mean,
Right. Yeah.
why not, right?
And I think it would definitely shake up the league in a good way.
Yeah,
Hmm.
we'll see. I don't know if they're ready for it or not. 'Cause there's also, I mean, there's obvious positives too to letting like a black person own a
Oh yeah,
team
100%.
for marketing reasons, but even if it would make all the rest of the owners uncomfortable.
Yeah, which I don't get that. Cause I mean,
Fuck,
well, I get it, but like, come on. Like,
right?
yeah,
They shall be fine.
but yeah, so we'll have to keep an eye on that thing, the lawsuit thing, because I'm definitely interested to see where that goes.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Hopefully, we'll get some fun documents to get brought to light.
Um,
All right, 35 minutes in. Are we ready for?
oh
ready?
yeah, you wanna you wanna kick this one off?
Man, dude, I don't even know where
Well,
to
let's start
start.
with Twitter. Kanye graced the world by hopping back on Twitter after a pretty long hiatus. I think it was over a year or so. He's been, just off the grid, working on music, working on his mental health and whatnot, and he came back to Twitter, which everybody was excited about at first because he was kind of tweeting about music and stuff. And then the Trump tweets came. And they were something.
They were glorious.
Kanye kind of went on about, his quote unquote support for the current president and how like he
Dragon energy. Read about dragon energy. That's
like
my
Trump's
favorite
his
one.
bro. They both got dragon energy. A little Drogon, a little Rhaegal, and going on there. But yeah, fuck
Not
that
the frozen one though.
Yeah,
Fuck
the
that dragon.
Syrian or whatever. Fucking. But yeah, so he kind of came out and was in support of Donald Trump, the person, and he kind of went on he went on like TMZ a couple days ago, I think, and said how he still like loves Trump or whatever. Yeah.
Mm. That was the clip where he said something about slavery, and the guy like shouted him
Yeah.
out of the room.
They had a pretty. I mean, it was a conversation. It wasn't really hostile, but yeah. So, how do you feel about this as a white male, Zach?
It's kind of comical, honestly, just like the importance that a lot of people are placing on Kanye's opinion and how mad they are about it in a lot of ways. I do think this is something that bothers me a lot when I see it. So, like, I understand the context of like Chance the Rapper came out and kind of supported Kanye a little bit because people were, getting on him, probably somewhat rightfully so. But like Chance the Rapper just said, like, it's okay to be like for a black person to be a Republican, and then he ended up getting kind of like guilt shamed into apologizing. And I think I just find the Uncle Tom thing to be like a kind of offensive cop out. I don't know because I'm not black, but like it kind of annoys me when the side that claims to be like on the side of minorities then also thinks that they have to like think exactly like that, right? If that makes sense. Like that always has gotten under my skin. Like I feel like people are fake for minorities and they're like convinced they are. Some of their actions say otherwise.
I definitely understand that. Like it's much more of like a monolithic style of thinking than like than one would think. So, like me myself, I wouldn't say that like I'm a Democrat at all. Which hopefully, when this blows up, I don't get attacked for saying that.
We'll get you on and you guys can talk about it.
And that's just like, and it has nothing. Politics. That's the kind of like the problem with like the era we're in now, and like politics has somehow through a lot of it probably through social media has gotten attached with race and culture. So like, oh, if you're a Republican, you're racist somehow. But like, I don't know. It's just it was just interesting to watch all of that unfold.
Yeah, for sure. And that's what I do. I think Kanye kind of had a point in his own way, I guess. He just articulated it right.
Yeah, like that's like I guess his point, especially his point of being a free thinker. It's like you don't have. It's okay to not think like everyone else. Like if you ask like the average African American kid, like why are you a Democrat? They'll probably tell you because their parents were, and they don't have any other like legitimate reason of why they are aligned politically where they're aligned, but like Kanye did an interview with Charlemagne at his house, so like very comfortable kind of interview, and it was the 18th of last month, so this was like before he went on TMZ and everything. But if you watch the interview, Kanye is like in his comfort zone, so clearly he has mental health issues. Nothing like schizophrenia, but like he's very anxious type of person. Like as you can see, as he's trying to articulate his points in the TMZ like clip. But like in his interview with like Charlemagne at his house, he's like articulate and he's working through like getting his points out the proper way. So you can tell it's kind of like you can definitely see like the contrast in his the way he comes off when he's comfortable and when he's like very anxious. So right, exactly. So I would
his
implore
dragon
people to
energies
like
in a
just go
line.
out and like look at that too. But like I'm not defending his views on, you know, Trump or anything because I don't fucks with Trump, but you know, it's just interesting to see, you know, both sides of that.
Yeah, I do too. So I don't remember exactly what he said, but some of his like slavery comments,
oh, they
I
definitely
feel like kind of taken out of context, and maybe I don't know, but like I mean, I think that's another fair point. That's like the mentality part that he was talking about, like how do I want to say this without sounding like some racist asshole? Like so right, so black communities have been they've been fucked, right, historically, and so and some ways collectively they do need to have a better mentality than the average white person just to help their community rise up, right? And I think that's what he was trying to say, though I don't know Kanye, so I can't
I think that's
say for sure. But
absolutely, in my opinion, what he was trying to say, because during the TMZ clip, he's like, "Oh, he tried to change the metaphor to like prisons or whatever, and like, so he tried to like re-articulate it, but it was too late. The damage had been done at that point. But at that point, once it's out there, Black Twitter gets a hold of it. That's why also I think it's not even that big of a deal, as big of a deal as people think it is. Because you know, Black Twitter is just gonna be Black Twitter. So yeah.
Yeah, right. Just being funny.
Yeah, I mean, he's just, you know, he just seems like someone that's a little bit lost. So, and trying to find his way by, I don't know, thinking outside the box. So I'm not going to judge that. But also, I've read some things that were like, how he's not really that into politics either. So, like, of course he likes Trump if he doesn't, like, he's been off the grid for a year. He doesn't know what the hell's going on, especially if he's not in the politics.
Yeah.
Like, I know it's hard to miss, but, like,
yeah,
fuck.
Yeah. I mean, the most interesting thing about that whole thing, I think, was the fact that, like you said, when you summarize, like he was defending Trump the person, which I don't think anybody do. It's like you can make a really good argument, and I know some people like this who are like super conservative, like evangelical Christian, really good people that voted for Donald Trump explicitly to get the Supreme Court justice placed. Yeah, and I think that like even if you don't like him, if you're convinced that he's not going to do as much damage as maybe some people think, that's a pretty legitimate reason to vote for him. To be honest, that's a big deal. The Supreme Court.
Yeah, that's interesting. I've never heard of. Well, nah, it's just interesting that someone would vote for Trump because of that. But it makes sense though.
Yeah, he was like more important, I think, for a lot of conservative religious people in particular, I think, than people want to give it credit for. Like, I think there's kind of a caricature where like every evangelical is Ted Cruz and they've just become subservient to Donald Trump because they hate liberals.
No, I don't think that's quite true, but there's definitely some there. Yeah.
Those people are for sure there, and they're loud, but
and I think Kanye just back to like why people care so much about what Kanye thinks is because like back in the day, like Kanye was very outspoken to say the least. He was like Jesus Walks Kanye. Do you remember that song, Jesus Walks? Of course you don't.
No, I don't think I've heard that one. I didn't really like Kanye until
yes, that was.
What was it? Was it Yeezus?
Title.
Was that an album title? That was when it came out like sometime when we were in college, right? Yeah, I think that was the first like actual Kanye album I've listened to. So like some of his older stuff.
That's fair.
I just haven't heard
guess.
the whole.
But
I really wasn't like that into rap besides Eminem until I was in college, to be honest. Of course,
that is the
fucking white
whitest
boy.
thing you've ever said to me. No, I'm just kidding. Where was it? Yeah, so like Jesus Walks Kanye. So this was Kanye back in the day. This was Kanye that was like George Bush doesn't care about black people. Like that Kanye was very outspoken. I think a lot of people were, and like it was kind of something that you didn't really see a lot of, and he wasn't afraid to speak his mind, which he still isn't, but it's just like his mind's in a different space, and so that's why people kind of like they really take the stuff he does to heart. So, and then that goes back to the whole mindset of black people as a whole in like because Kanye is a celebrity and he's an outspoken celebrity, like they take him as like one of like the voices. His voice is very important, don't get me wrong, but people kind of diminish the voice that they have like as a like normal individual in society, and they kind of like are like, okay, Kanye's one of our voices, like LeBron's one of our voices, Diddy's one of our voices, Chance is one of our voices, and like put a lot of importance on those voices, which they should, but put less importance on their own. So
yeah, I think it's black people definitely have like a
100%.
I don't like more of a group thing going on than white people do. I don't know. That's like good sometimes and bad other times. Bill Burr does a great bit on it. I don't know if you ever heard it. He's like it's just like a little short bit where he's talking about where he's like sitting on a train or something, and some like crazy homeless guy that just happens to be black like gets up in like some white guy's face and starts like yelling at him like you cracker, and there's like Bill Burr said it's like him and like three other white people sitting on this train, and they're all just like looking at each other like should I be offended right now? And then he like goes into about like if it was like reverse and like some white guy just like goes to the black guy on the street and calls him the N-word, and then like everybody's coming out of their houses to beat his ass.
Yeah, people come out of the woodwork, which is like great. I mean, that's amazing when it's for the the right things, and it's very deprecating when it's for the wrong things.
Right.
So is distinguishing between the two.
Is what it is.
But like also like I love that, and it's definitely different because the position that black people have been in since arriving here is that like it's kind of like a survival thing, being being so group minded. But like, I don't know. I just value my individuality a lot. Like, I love being a part of the community, and I'm like very proud to be African American. But I just love my individuality. That's just a personal thing, though. But yeah, man. You saw the Avengers, I'm assuming. Yeah, no, I had to make sure
Yes, I
that I put
did.
that in there.
It's a
So
good thing you said
Zach
that
wanted to
note. I might
talk
have
about the
accidentally said
Avengers,
something,
and I haven't seen it
but
yet. So yeah, I've been freaking
pretty good.
straight
I have a
up
lot of
like
thoughts.
Reggie Bushing the fucking spoilers on social media. Like, mhm.
Yeah, dude. I filtered before I went and watched it. I filtered Thanos,
Yeah,
Avengers, and
yeah, I've
Infinity War, and I
seen
still like
memes.
saw memes that gave me kind of an idea of what might happen.
What?
So
Yeah, but
I said it was futile. It was good though. Like even with those ideas though,
okay,
I
good.
didn't like really know
What
exactly what's going to happen. So it was still
ranking Marvel
really good.
movies? Where are you at? Because I know you're a Guardians guy. I know you're a Winter Soldier guy. So where would you rank it? I love that there's
I do
enough
like,
Marvel movies that like we can like
man.
legitimately have a list. It's awesome.
Yeah, it's pretty crazy. Man, it hasn't like completely settled in. I think I would put it
Mhm.
like in terms of the ones I like, Winter Soldier's at the top, um, then Guardians,
Okay.
and then I have like another tier that's probably like Civil War and Black Panther right now. I think I would put
Okay.
Infinity War in with that Civil War Black Panther.
Mhm.
Like really, really good. Obviously, really entertaining because they're all in it, so it's like more exciting. Um, but just like when I watched Civil War, or not, when I watched Winter Soldier and
Okay, I feel
Guardians for the
that.
first time, it had like a
I kind of
much
felt
more
like
lasting
I have
impact on
yet to
me.
see it, so we'll see after. But I kind of felt like that's where it would fall because I think Winter Soldier is like up there for me. Winter Soldier and Black Panther are probably like my top two.
Hmm.
Yeah, I would say Winter Soldier and Black Panther. But I thought it would fall somewhere like under those two, my top two, like the top twos. So
Yeah, I mean
yeah,
it's hard to
yeah, absolutely.
pull as good of a story as those two had off with that many characters. And so actually, in that way, I think it was like about as good as they could have made it because I don't know if you saw like some idiot for like the New Yorker or something reviewed it and they were mad because everybody just like showed up is
Yeah,
what they said. And
yeah,
so then like obviously everybody on the internet was making fun of it like that's the whole fucking point. So that I mean it was like really 2.5
yeah.
hours of like really good
It's very
pacing. Like it
key
was just
to
constant
like
stuff because I didn't have to introduce anybody
see the other movies, I think, but also like maybe watch them in order, like chronological order of
for
not when they're
sure.
released, but like story wise would probably be even more cohesive for people who are a little late to the party. But yeah, yeah, I can't wait to see it.
Hmm.
Oh yeah, no, yeah.
Yeah, definitely good. I'm excited for the sequel
Do you
a year from
do
now.
you watch Westworld by any chance?
I have
Oh,
seen like the last 10
okay.
minutes of the last episode of the first season because my old
Well,
roommate used to watch it, but no,
never
I have
mind then.
not
Can't wait for Game of
watched it
Thrones.
all.
I know Westworld took the release slot because they
Dude, it's not
pushed it
even coming
back.
out this summer. This is such
Yeah.
bullshit. Did it really?
Oh my
You know
god, it's
that.
gonna be wild. I've been
Man, though,
reading
yeah.
stuff
Game of Thrones is going
like
to be dope.
just like fan theories and like even if there are some theories that come true, like because I've done this every season, like Game of Thrones is like the only show
Mm,
or like only like me like TV show or movie that I don't mind reading like theories or anything, and then watching it because it's just so well done that it's surprising anyway. I just love it.
Mhm. I am slightly concerned about the writing for the last season here. I think like the most recent season, it dropped off a little bit, like when they ran out of book material. And then like I know for a fact because George R. R. Martin has said this that Jon Snow was a Targaryen, but I'm worried that like the writers are going to start doing too much fan service and just kind of like mold the story in the direction of the most popular fan theories.
No, I don't think he does, which is why the.
So I'm not really sure George R. R. Martin gives a fuck.
I know.
He still hasn't written the next book. I finished the 5 books when I was my freshman year at Marietta when I hated everything. I just read fucking A Song of Ice and Fire. And yeah, at that point, I think A Dance with Dragons had been out for like 2 or 3 years, and it's been like 10 years since he wrote it now.
That book
Still
is going
nothing.
to go like quadruple platinum when he releases it.
You know what's crazy too? Which like this is what really annoys a lot of the like book series fans is like he like, won't. He's implied that he won't let somebody finish it for him, like if he croaks, which he might because he's like 60 something and he's fat. Which just seems crazy to me that you wouldn't let somebody like look through your notes and try to finish it for your fans.
Scares me a little bit. Yeah.
Yeah. It's not his thing anymore. It's HBO's.
Yeah, but
he's relinquished.
I mean, the show, the last season should. I don't know. It shouldn't be that much dialogue anyway, because shit's supposed to go down. But yeah, but I don't know. The showrunners do a good job.
Need to happen.
I mean, they did a fairly okay job without material last season, so I have high hopes for it. But
yeah, I mean, it wasn't bad by any means. Just I think some of the best like one-liners of dialogue that people had in like the previous seasons were just pulled straight out of the book.
Honestly, like
because George R.
Because
good writer,
I started the books after I started
those
watching
kinds of things.
The series, and like the whole like first season, like they were just copying and pasting lines from the first book, the first 2 books or whatever. It was just, yeah.
Yeah, I know.
But we'll see. We'll see what happens. You got anything else? Oh, go ahead. My bad.
Should be fun. Like everyone.
Oh yeah, no.
Oh, I was just saying it's exciting that they're all going to be the length of a movie, like all the episodes.
I'm interested to see how that meshes by someone different. Yeah, so like they bought like, I mean, I guess it's only only 6 episodes.
Oh, really? That's interesting.
So they brought back previous directors, like for like Battle of the Bastards. The guy who directed that is directing like the big battle scene, which Battle of the Bastards was probably the best battle scene that I've ever seen.
Dope.
Yeah, and it was just like being like immersed, literally immersed
crazy
in
how they
combat
film that.
It's just something I'd never seen before. But yeah. But
yeah, I'm pretty sure
so, like,
that was
he's
like
directing, and
unprecedented if I remember.
I don't know the exact details, but I know that there are several different directors directing different episodes, so it should be interesting.
Cool. It'll be fun. Man, that and Battle of the Bastards when he like
oh yeah, no.
Just fucking calmly marches up to Ramsey while he's getting arrows shot at him.
Yeah, he was a fucking doucher.
Living the fuck out of him. It's so great.
I'm happy
Ramsey's
he got his
pussy.
face eaten by his own hounds. Yeah.
That gets me hype. That like makes me want to go start a bar fight when I see Jon Snow do that.
What else we got for the people? Yeah, that was good.
I think as far as topics go, we got through them here. We're at about an hour. Yeah, you got anything else you want to hit while we're here?
I don't really have anything going on right now. I mean, there's. Yeah, I wish. Not really, but.
Gonna move out to Colorado here soon, right?
Drain the swamp, baby. Oh.
Fuck that swamp you're in right now.
How do you feel about, the North Korea, South Korea thing? Real quick.
Oh, yeah. I mean, it seems like it's good. I don't know, like, I feel like I'm too young to have any context, like, where to place this with like, events in the past where maybe it looked like things were going to get better.
And, it always deteriorates.
Hard to say.
So, I'm patiently waiting for Trump's meeting with Kim Jong, if that's still happening. And, we'll just take it from there. As of right now, things seem to be okay, but, I'm always weary of the northern nurse. So, but we'll see.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Man, I'm really conflicted about that whole thing. Like, by no means can we start a war, but I don't know how I feel about letting the North Korean government get away with death camps because we're de-escalating
goes back to
things.
One of our previous topics of,
So
us, standing
we'll
up
see.
for the little guy per se. Mm-hmm. Goddamn. Yeah. But,
fucking bullies. Goddamn Ramsey.
Yeah.
Shitting all over people.
Of course, Trump takes credit for it.
Dude, I want him
that would be
a Nobel
major
Prize
step
so
backwards
bad.
for civilization.
I just want it to happen. It'll be fun.
All right.
It's just a fucking trinket.
You good? Yeah, it was. I would like to thank everybody for listening.
Yeah, I think that was good. That was a good episode.
Is currently hosting this podcast. We had to jump ship from Anchor. Yeah. And thank you guys for listening.
Which sounds much better, we hope.
Listening to this on actually it'll just be on YouTube. So thank you for listening. Like, subscribe, check out some of our other episodes, and we got a lot more to come. Keep an eye out for. So we write too, so keep an eye out for some pieces that we'll be posting on our blog, White Bear Season szn.wordpress.com. And yeah. That's what I was waiting.
All right. Check us out. Listen to our stuff.
All right. You have a good one, man.
And you stay classy, America. Good day, sir.